Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see everybody here in the crowd, and I'm proud to be on the stage with Supervisor Jesse Armendarez. Really an example of what we look for in realtors getting involved in local government, being involved in leadership in their community. So Jesse, one of the things I deal with all the time is policy coming out of Los Angeles, trying to solve our problems. They seem to have an outsized view of their role in the state of California when it comes to government policy. And yet, one of the calls I receive very often is from members, realtors, who have a problem with something going on with their properties in the city of Los Angeles. And what I tell them is, I don't work in Los Angeles, and thank God I don't. I like the Inland Empire, I like Riverside County and San Bernardino County, because we don't have that same set of issues. And I refer them to my colleagues who have to deal with that burden of Los Angeles County every single day. But it got me curious. So I wanted to go back and look at what's going on in the economy of Los Angeles versus the Inland Empire. Just some basic numbers. And the place I wanted to focus on was homeownership rates. Homeownership is really important to an economy, to a community. The median wealth of a homeowner in America is 40 times greater than that of a renter. Median renter has about $6,500 in wealth in their home. Median homeowner is about $250,000. And then a number of other social factors play in that matter, and you know very, very well from setting policy in the communities. So can we get to the first slide? Second slide.
I should have had that one up first. Sorry about that, Paul.
Oh, no problem.
There you go.
So this is Riverside County. And you look at this is just basic census data from the ACS Community Survey in 2021, and if sometimes from 2010, if there's some comparison point. But you see population numbers, homeownership rate 68.1%. That's a nice figure. Across America, the homeownership rate's about 64%. Riverside County, we're actually beating that figure. And that creates for just fantastic communities, law stability. No one's raising your rent if you're able to own your own home. So 68%, that's only down 0.3% in a decade. So we're doing pretty well. So let's take a look at San Bernardino County. So San Bernardino County, similar population, the homeownership rate's a little bit lower. It's 60.5%. That's come down from about 64% a decade earlier. It's unfortunate that's come down. Still not bad, still at a decent clip. Majority of people in this region, in San Bernardino County, in your county, are homeowners, and that definitely helps. Let's take a look at Orange County. Orange County hit about $1 million, went over $1 million in the median home price. Very expensive place to live, has been for a while. And yet, their homeownership rate still is at 57%. That's pretty impressive for a place with a 7-figure median home price as of a few months ago. They've come down a little bit, but they're still in some range. Now, let's look at Los Angeles City. And we're going to skip Los Angeles County because I think Los Angeles County isn't doing so badly, but the city of Los Angeles is an anchor tied around the feet of that region. Homeownership rate is under 37%. Hasn't been above 40, as far as I can tell, in the last 15 years. You have a region that is setting policy on issues that they haven't been able to solve in any meaningful way. So you look at the income figures. The income in the Inland Empire is higher than Los Angeles. It's not an issue where they're making a bunch of money, but housing's really expensive, so they can't afford to buy a home. They make less money as a region than our area. The economic engine of Southern California, Los Angeles, as we've always been taught and known, might look more like an anchor. So Supervisor Armendarez, here's my question. Given what looks like in the numbers a dystopian mess of a housing market and an economy in the city of Los Angeles, why do they get to dictate policy for us in the Inland Empire and the rest of the state and set the tone for what we do?
Well, you got to take in the factors that there's probably 4 million plus people who reside Los Angeles. They're one of 480 plus cities in the state. 1 out of 10 of those people live in Los Angeles County. When you look at those basic numbers, their representation at the state level and at the federal level is drastically greater than ours. Greater than San Bernardino County, probably more, greater than San Bernardino and Riverside County combined when you really look at those numbers. So they have a bigger seat at the table than we're going to have. Their policies, quite frankly, are failing policies. I mean, I think when we look at it, it's San Bernardino County, where we are different is, we've been innovative. We've encouraged growth. We've encouraged housing. Of every aspect. We've not just said, oh, we have to build high rises or anything. We're like, 10,000 square foot lots, half acre lots, lofts, apartments, condos. Everything is up for grabs. It's you set let the developer do what the developers do, grow communities. Let the people in those communities decide what kind of businesses they're going to run, small business, large business. We've created our own economic engine out here that I think for a lot of the time people have thought that we were reliant on LA. We're really not. We've created our own base, and there's a million reasons I think you could look at it that way, but I think at the end of the day, it's the numbers.
Yeah. You mentioned that we've created our own economic base. Can we look at the last slide?
Yes, sir.
So I got curious and I said, okay, what are people trading in for home ownership and lower income? And I thought, well, maybe they're not driving, right? Because we're told that our region's a bedroom community to Los Angeles, and so we're trading in that to spend a couple hours on the road every single day. Here's the mean commute times over my shoulder over here. Los Angeles, 31 and a half minutes. Riverside County, 34 minutes. San Bernardino County, 32 and a half minutes. So that's one-way commutes. That's 2.5 minutes in Riverside County difference from Los Angeles. So about 5 minutes round trip each day. Remember the numbers. Median renter has a household net worth of about $6,500. The median homeowner, $250,000. 40 times difference. That's an expensive 5 minutes per day that are being traded in. And also, you're not getting to Los Angeles in 34 minutes from Riverside County. So this is about our region having built its own economic base and jobs. Talk about some of the policies that you think has contributed to us being our own economic center.
We've allowed business to do what business does. We've stepped out of the stage of trying just to overbear. You look at LA and there's so many, I'll give you an example. There's developers coming from LA coming to the Inland Empire, and I'll use Fontana as a city council member in Fontana. I was meeting with people from LA who were saying they were tired of LA, that it would cost them $125,000 on top of their regular diff fees per unit just to develop there. And they were like, it's gotten to a point where the regulation has pushed out the developer. And I'm not saying people won't continue to develop there, but the regular guy who's just trying to make a living is saying, we're done. And they're coming out to our areas saying there's opportunity here, because whether they're building a 3-story building or they're building condos, they're seeing that opportunity, the opportunity for growth. And we're kind of just getting out of their way and saying, what do you need to be successful? I think in good government, we need to get out of the way. And I think at least thank you. I think the big part of what we can do as good government is walk beside, encourage, be that advocate. And that's what I try to do in every position I've ever sat on, is I've sat there and said, how can I help you? How can I be a part of the solution, not the problem? And I think that's the way we've been effective. As well as those who know me, the big issues I've always dealt with is, it's homelessness, public safety, housing affordability. There's issues that when we're helping move a community forward, you get out of the way and you let the developers and the people in that community do what they do best. but you also have to take care of those who can't take care of themselves. And that's where the homeless component comes in. And, how do we deal with that? And we know that just housing them doesn't help. I've said many times, the homeless issue isn't a homeless crisis, it's a mental health crisis, and it affects every one of us in our communities, how we go to work, where we work. I'm sure a lot of people experience it where, you open your front door at your business and there's a homeless person. This didn't happen by accident, and it's failed policies, quite frankly, that are being dictated from LA, and as you can see, they're not dealing with it well. Where today we're looking at it from a holistic approach. We're not just saying house them, we're saying let's get them the help they need, and really have that true conversation of, we are going to have those who are, I would call them the nomads, who there's nothing you can do to help them. They want to be homeless. That's their choice. And we're in America, land of the free. If that's your choice, that's your choice, but you don't have the right to defecate on my streets. You don't have the right to do your drugs in my parks. You don't have that right. You will be a law-abiding citizen, and if you're not, we're going to put you through the system.
Okay, Jesse, you're going to have the fortunate memory of going off the stage saying you don't have the right to defecate in the street. So that's where we're going to put the end cap. This is like the Oscars, you guys. We are in a very strict time frame. So this is the deal. We are Inland Empire guys, okay? And Jesse, of course, is our newly elected San Bernardino County Supervisor. You got a round of applause by saying, hey, good government kind of stays out of our way. I think most of us in this room would agree with that. So as Inland Empire guys, this theme that frankly Paul and Jesse set up for us is going to be carrying over when you see Chris Thornburg's presentation on what's going on and all the work that he's done with UCR and the Center for Business, along with Manford Kyle, who else is going to do that. So guys, I know